Welcome to the After Hours Gaming League by Day9 TV and Red Bull Gaming. It is match point in semifinal number 1. Currently in the top right-hand corner, his team's hopes potentially dashed by the gruesome, glorious play from the Googleisks. Will he be able to pull the win for his team? National Instruments, put your hands together for Abaddon. Abaddon. In the far left-hand side of this here 3-player map. From Team Google, it's TTT. Dum -dum. Now, as I love to talk about on all maps, how do the expansions factor into this game? Well, pretty typically, all maps have some reasonably indicated third. On this map, you'd generally be like, okay, I'll concede that this is my third. However, with these positions, Terrans will occasionally want to actually go down to this slightly more tucked back away expansion here. But then we begin to ask questions. Should this be my 4th base? I mean, Colossus can hop up and down pretty easily. What about this is my 4th base? The later the game goes, the more discomfort you feel because there's really no clean place to place your army. There's no clear choke point that will allow you to control the map in its entirety. What you wind up with is a situation where vision becomes the most important, the most vital resource in the late game. Are you monitoring drops? Are you monitoring counterattacks? Are you monitoring your heart rate? Because if you are, you're in the wrong profession. Get both eyes and hands on the keyboard, friend. Abaddon gets the lucky first scout. RNG is with him. TTT going straight for Reaper. Fantastic map to do this on, as we can easily see by heading over to this potential 3rd base. This area can't actually have the Reaper pop up and down it, but the front is more than enough space for the early Reaper to get it and monitor what it needs to. Checking this out makes the Reaper really nice. And also these center areas where the Reaper can pop up and down allow for a ton of mobility. You can take this watchtower, waltz up to this top, and have plenty of maneuverability as the game continues on. TTT walling himself in and continuing to mine gas. He's already elected to throw out a Marine, so it looks like we're actually going to see a little bit of an unusual opening. He's almost certainly going to be building a fast factory. Look at this, TTT spots it. Right out the gate. Unbelievable read right there. And where's the factory? Where's the factory? Oh! I found the factory! Look at this! I love it, TTT. With everything on the line, trying to go for it. Right away, we're seeing Abaddon's setup is a little bit cautious. He let the Zealot finish. He's going for the Mothership Core expand. Very typical. But I mean, I don't even think, no, he can't actually scout that far. Look at him, he's checking, are there any pylons down at that bottom side? Would love to be able to float a factory up there. And of course, no Protoss player is going to be suspicious of the scout here. They're going to think it's just a responsible Terran player trying to check things out. So right now it looks like Abaddon is just chrono boosting his probes. He's going for economy. He's going to have to get a Stargate or a Robo immediately. Oh my god. Oh my god. Yeah, there it is. There's the Robo. There's the Robo. Meanwhile, back in the main base, looks like TTT has decided to pull back and go for a little bit more of a standard bioforce. He can also go for a starport and just go Marine Marauder off one base. But he needs to get the add-ons on fast. TTT can't overly focus on these mines. He needs to make sure he's beginning to get stim, beginning to get something to allow him to do follow-up pressure. Oh, so sexy. Distract him at the front. Sneak in to the back. Well, let's see how Abaddon's going to deal with this. Is he going to wait? Or is he just going to go for it right away? Oh, the greed. Oh, the greed is real. Oh my god, suddenly it's turning to a Hearthstone chat. He's being so greedy, and here it is! We don't mind sneaking in. Get there. No! Oh, gets 2 right away. And it's command center choice for TTT. Gotta get that stim up sooner. Gotta get it up faster. Very fortunate for Abaddon. He's trying to chase things with a mine. And he's baited out a Photon Overcharge. A very nice play. TTT's just sitting back, relaxing, easing himself up. And it looks like going back to normal. TTT didn't really do a terrible amount of damage there. There was no follow-up push to join the push at the front side. Uh-oh, my mouse is just shut down. Alright, we're going to go into keyboard mode. There we go. Abaddon has done, thus far, a beautiful defense. There's no reactor add-on here. There's only 2 barracks. Uh-oh. I mean, this is going to turn into kind of a hairy situation. Abaddon is now playing this off very aggressively. He's going for a Robo Bay. He's going for 2 extra gates. He's not going to play more cautiously, more defensively with a Forge. And look at this. He has 18 workers at his expansion. He's rallying back into his main base. Still hasn't done any sort of checking at that backside. TTT moving on in.
Add-on complete.
Let's check center. Just a lot of very responsible play, I would describe it as. Sending in the Reaper first, making sure that there's no vision at the front side. Just barely enough for a single Photon Overcharge. And oh my god, the Protoss player has set this up so just barely. He's going to be able to afford a single Overcharge. Just one single little Overcharge, and that's going to be all the time he needs to get out the Colossus. And there's the more cautious play coming up. More passive play, getting up there. Excuse me, not the cautious, the passive play. The cautious play was getting these warp gates up. There's the warp gate. There's the Photon Overcharge. We're seeing the Photon cannons getting placed up in the main base. And at the expansion. And as these Colossus are beginning to come out, this is more or less wiggled its way to a pretty normal looking game. The one concern I have is, what is the Terran's SCV count? It's at 46. He only managed to kill 4 workers in this opening game. Would have loved to see more aggressive action from these mines. There's no more Widow mines left on the map. He's stepping right in to do another assault. Not quite ready to be attacked. And there's a single Colossus. 2 Colossus are going to be out. Mothership core back to 57 energy. Only 1 medevac right now. For a Terran player to... Yep, for a Terran player to have done so much dilly-dallying at the start of the game, the 10 minutes is going to really decide what the rest of the game is. Is it going to be hyper-aggressive or hyper-passive? And hyper-aggressive is the choice for TT. He is not going to be going for a very quick 3rd command center. If he had to do that, he would have to play one of the slowest, most defensive games. He really doesn't have any wiggle room at this point in time. Whereas Protoss has a very nice, sturdy force. Looks like TTT is just going to try to overwhelm with boat loads and loads of bio. Oh my gosh, to think, if this one robo facility was not constructed, if Abaddon wanted to go for a blink play, the game would be done already. It would be over. Man, TTT pulling back. He's got to be very careful. Uh-oh, looks like he has a window of opportunity. He's going to stim and run away, and the main is empty. Is there enough room for an overcharge? There is. He needs to target fire that Nexus now. He needs to target fire it so now. But the Colossus has already gotten into the main base. He's going to be able to maybe pick off a Colossus. He gets the Mothership core. That's not a bad pickup. Looks like he has lost exactly 2 Marines. Very nice exchange. Freak that Protoss player right the hell out. Got my heart pounding a little bit. There's the blink. Interesting transition choice from Abaddon. He's basically going to try to pretend to be a Templarian player. Ooh, a few too many tech paths. I feel like he should maybe do 2 of those instead of all 4. But there it is. So now we're starting to see TTT. He's splitting himself up to try to do some multi-pronged attacks, but multi-pronged attacks are only good for a little bit of time. They're only good as a way to chip down your opponent as you are getting more bases and more money yourself. But in this position in the game, TTT can deal a little bit more damage, but then he has to join his forces together. He has to get one big old army and try to just attack this Colossus force head on. Now, if he loses too much here, It's going to be bad news for him. What is he doing? What is he doing? Losing a couple more Marines. Where's the assault at the front side? This third base is so vulnerable. Storm is coming up. I mean, Abaddon is going to have some Miracle DTs, or Miracle Storms, or Miracle Colossus, or maybe even all three, because right now TTT is really, really applying the pressure. Abaddon getting himself his Photon Cannon. Dark Shrine done, almost. And TTT is actually probably going to get a very easy pickoff here. He drops. Oh my god, he's going to knock this Protoss player back to 2 base. There it is, there's the cancel. And in the main base, we're actually seeing no resistance. No resistance! Is this actually going to be it? He's starting to target fire gateways. He's going to get a free Templar! This is just money being hurled away by Protoss. Abaddon going for the farther away gateway, and now he's going to go for the closer gateway. He needs to get out of there. Oh my god, Abaddon is just having a total meltdown. But there is no detection. There's no detection. In the unit count, there's no DTs yet. Oh, man. In the army supply, we see it's 92, 72. These Colossus are pretty eager to die. Ooh, man, that is a late third command center. I mean, we are seeing the extra upgrades pop out, but, I mean, Abaddon is really getting eviscerated by these medevacs. Wow, look at that amazing timing. The exact second that the overcharge was done, he moves in. He's picking off the gateways. This is going to mean it's very difficult to do reinforcement on multiple fronts. With the gateway count low, all of a sudden Abaddon needs enough vision to cover everything, but he's now kind of committed to building Colossus as a defense. In fact, in his observer count, he has one. He has a single observer that has to stay with his army, he feels, in case ghosts arrive. It's all going to be to Storms, or maybe even DTs. Has he managed to spot this? Oh, no base there, and he's checking the top. Found you. Found you. 7 gateways in production for Abaddon. He just desperately wants to do a transition into a Templar-based force. And there's the DTs in the main first. He's not going to get the opportunity of surprise. He's going to see those DTs and he's going to realize, oh my god, do I have detection? Do I have detection? Where's the detection in the main base? Whew, there's one. And there's a second one. He is going to have to re-rally everything up into his main base. How the hell? What the hell? How did this happen? How did this happen? How did this happen? How did he sneak over here? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Well, he's going to try to target fire that Templar, but not before the storm ends up popping out. Was Gene? Oh! Gigantic storm connects. A second storm connects. A third storm. Pretty good storms going down right now, but the Colossus are the real damage-dealing force here. We're starting to see backups from all those bioforces. The Colossus count is going to have to tumble down to nothing, but not before getting into that great position. We're seeing Archons getting produced. And oh my god, Abaddon, with the sneak between, managed to find one sliver of hope. Oh my god, catching this Terran army in one of the most awkward angles. I mean, that must have startled any Terran player. Even though he spread out very nicely, he didn't have the chance to get a bunch of decent shots off against the Colossus, and now all of a sudden it's a lift. Oh my god. Everything being funneled into just a cone of death. That is a fake Colossus, so it's not actually dealing too much damage, but the Archons at the front are getting just their last dessert right now. Archon at 14 kills. Currently we see it's 26 to 59. The army supply greatly favors Protoss. And Terran out of money yet? Ugh. Sending that orbital command center out, a very desperate move, has a lot of SCVs just hanging out in the main base, and suddenly we're starting to realize how dangerous that DT shrine is going to become. The 2 DTs are in the main. More gateways getting produced, a second robo getting produced. A very, very desperate play for TTT. Moving in without any medevacs, trying to pick off as many probes as he can. I don't think he realizes how far behind he is in the worker count. Pylon getting shot at. We're starting to see SCVs getting rallied to the close expansion. These 2 players' bases are very, very close right now. And that's absolutely going to favor the Protoss player. The Terran player wants lots of room to maneuver, to kite, to pick off stray units. Abaddon just defending like a miracle worker, man. Another expansion down for Abaddon. I mean, he's really leveraging the one clear lead he has in this game, which is the economy. He's starting to churn out Zealots. Zealots are always a big sign of wanting to do some aggression. Could, though, be a sign of desperation, though, from the Protoss player, not realizing how much of a lead he has. I mean, TTT is really struggling to stay afloat right now. As we see this Mothership Core come up, that's going to be another key tenet to Abaddon's offensive capabilities, being able to rush out, recall home. I mean, this is about to become impossible for the Terran player. Once the Colossus count gets that high, all of a sudden, the Terran player doesn't have a choice. He can't really attack without a lot of Vikings, and in the time he's trying to get a lot of Vikings, there's Templar that have already existed in pretty reasonable numbers, so now all of a sudden he can't really afford to move out without Ghosts, and suddenly the Terran player is going to be forced into passivity, and it's the Protoss' game. It's the Protoss' opportunity for initiative, and speaking of initiative, oh my god, the gruesome single DT. About to become the hero DT. He's going to check down here. He can walk directly into that expansion. Oh gosh, there's nothing Terran can do. TTT. Oh, a single misstep. Rally to the center. Wasn't checking the sides. And now we're seeing the third base. Oh god, a storm perfectly chews apart every living unit that TTT once had. And we're seeing Abaddon storm forward with Colossus, walking their leggy little legs all the way on over. Oh my god, GG. It's going to Game 7. It's going to Game 7. Oh, Google tried to snuff out the hope for National Instruments, but National Instruments is an 11-0 team, hoping to make it 12-0. I can't believe it. It's going to be going to Game 7. I'm not going to delay it. I'm just going to go straight to break so we can come back and kick this puppy off ASAP. This is the After Hours Gaming League semifinal number 1.